Say it with me, chat. Lucia is just around the corner, and of course, we need to know if you should be summoning for Lucia in ZZZ, which means that there are some things that we really have to consider. Of course, being that we need support characters, Lucia seems like a good fit. But why? Why is she a good fit? Well, we're going to go ahead and talk about that today. So like, comment, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff, and make sure to hit that notification bell and that hype button. And don't forget to also check out my sponsor, GamerSupps. Use code TYSTRA for 10% off of your purchase. That's right. Again, I'm shilling them because I can. And at TwitchCon, I will be at their booth talking with them, talk about the new products that are coming in. That means that there's going to be more shorts of, GamerSupps flavor. So make sure to stay tuned for all that. But of course, without any further delay and enough of me hitting my microphone because I don't know space, let's go ahead and first talk about Piper. Now, Piper is one of those characters that a lot of people kind of throw away. And I won't lie, I'm guilty of that as well. I have thrown away Piper. I don't really touch her. However, I have seen a lot of stuff when it comes to her, and she's actually pretty busted with what she's able to do. She's actually a good anomaly DPS in general. She's actually on Pridewind's tier list, which again is not to say that Pridewind is the end all be all, but I do tend to lean into what Pridewind's saying. I will say that. Pridewind has her listed just right next to Jane Doe, which is pretty crazy to me because that is an A rank that is of the same volition as other S ranks, including, obviously, Soldier Zero Anby, Ellen, the new Ellen, the upgraded Ellen, by the way, Hugo, Jane Doe. God, I love her. Hi, babe. I love you. And then Zhu Yan, as well as, obviously other ones that are in different categories. But you get my point. Piper is actually not that bad. Her ability to actually, just shell out DPS in general is insane. Just building up the anomaly, causing it to, proc, and then boom. Especially when you pair her up with characters such as, freaking Yuzuha over here, right? I called her Mihara earlier. I don't know why I called her Mihara. But Yuzuha is insane with her. Insane. Because again, Yuzuha is going to actually help with just building up the anomaly faster. So is Piper worth it? Absolutely. Piper is definitely a great A rank character. And if you pull her, you need to get her at M6 because she's absolutely busted. So definitely love this granny, I guess is the best way to put it. Now, of course, we have Minato as well. Now, Minato is pretty much new. Not pretty much. He is new. We don't have, in general, play testing with him, at least on this channel. So I do apologize. So I'm really going off of what I'm able to read. But this is a general gist from Loot Bar that I've been able to see. Minato is a fire and rupture agent, which rupture agents are based off of HP because of sheer force. Minato gains additional sheer force based on his maximum HP. And whenever Minato uses a special attack or ignition, he acclimates flame points up to 100. Once flame reaches 75, he enters the ignited state. And in this state, Minato's basic attack becomes enhanced and can trigger an EX special attack. Besides, his sheer force increases further and his crit damage is boosted. So he's a pretty big, beefy man. Big, meaty men with muscles. Let's just get it. But one thing I want to talk about, right, is a lot of people were kind of doubting him because he's an A rank. He's going to be a little bit weaker, which is highly possible. However, I will say this. If you look at the characters that we have, there's not really any rupture characters that much, right? We could go ahead and do this rupture. Boom. There's one, and that's Yijuan. So to me, I feel like basing him off of just the one rupture character that we have is not entirely fair. I don't think it's fair to say that just because he's an A rank means that he's not going to be good. I think honestly, I could see him up here in this A tier section, right? Or not A tier, sorry. In the tier 1 section / maybe a 0.5. I don't know. I need to play test him myself to get more of my honest opinion. But again, we also know that there's going to be another character, Guiyu, I think is what it is, if I remember correctly, who sounds a lot like, a certain voice actor named Christopher Sabat. But I digress. He's coming. He's going to be a rupture fire as well. So a lot of people are going to feel a little burned. See what I did there? because of the fact that Minato is an A rank, but I still feel that Minato is going to be great in general. And a lot of people seem to forget that even though, you know, an A rank might not be the best top tier, you could still clear a lot of things with them. I saw, and people want to make the argument like not everybody is that great. You're right. You have to work for it and you have to try. It's crazy. If you try, like, you can't expect to beat Elden Ring and bitch about it being way too hard and then they lower the difficulty for you. This isn't like to do crazy things in games. It's not a participation trophy. It's meant to, like, you're supposed to work at it. But that's a different topic for a different time. What I'm getting at is that Minato can still be highly usable even with the new characters coming in 2.4. So I'm still very excited to try him out and show that he can do wonderful things. Speaking of which, another character that we don't know much about, obviously, is Lucia. Now, Lucia, again, I'm reading from Lupar's little thing that we have here. Lucia is going to be hard to skip. Lucia is an ether support agent who excels in Rupture and Aftershock teams. Her kit centers around dream value. Once Lucia's dream value reaches 100, she enters the dream state and increases all allies' maximum HP, which is great for sheer force / Rupture characters. Now, making her a valuable support option in Rupture compositions. When in the background, if the active character's attacks hit enemies, Lucia consumes 25 dream value to trigger an Aftershock. Additionally, whenever Lucia triggers a skill upgrade of an Aftershock, all squad members gain the fierce attack status. Under the effect, allies deal more damage. Now, again, boosting up that HP helps boost up Rupture characters, right? So she's not only going to be good for Minato, she's going to be good for Yishwen. Why is that important? Well, a lot of people have a hard time picking where their Astra Yao is going to be, and now you may not have to worry about that because it seems like Lucia might just be the character to put in place of Astra Yao. I don't know why I blanked out for a second. I'm sorry. But yes, I feel like she's going to be that character that will actually help you out in that regard to where you don't have to worry about having Astra Yao in a composition with either Miyabi or Yishwen. I think that Yishwen will benefit from Lucia. Is Lucia going to be more important than Astra Yao? Probably not. I honestly think that Lucia might wind up here in the 0.5 range. Maybe. But I also feel that she might go up here to the T0 because of the fact that she's able to be used in those Rupture teams in place of Astra Yao. I feel like that's the same thing with Yuzuha here, which Yuzuha can be used in anomaly-based teams. You don't need to use an Astra Yao in those teams. But at the same time, I could be 100% wrong. I could be thinking that Lucia is going to be this cracked out agent, but Lucia could be down here. But I don't think that's the case. I think that Lucia is actually going to be very, very good. So should you summon for Lucia? If you are going for Rupture characters like Minato, like Yishwen, and like, you know, Guiyu, I think you should. I think you should absolutely summon for Lucia because she's going to be goated. No pun intended, because she's a goat. So that's my take. I think that Lucia is a pretty well worth summon. Plus, getting Minato on top of that as well is so good. So good. I think that Minato is great, at least from his kit, and he's going to be great until, you know, the next patch. Even then, I still think he's still going to be a great option for people who don't go for Guiyu. But that's a topic, again, for another day. But that's going to be it for today. Like, comment, subscribe. Again, don't forget to check out Gamers Hubs. There we go. Use code TYSTRA for 10% off of your purchase. And let me know in the comments down below if you're going to be summoning for Lucia. Are you more excited for the A-rank Minato? And how many are you going for? Definitely hoping to get M6 from these summons I'm going to do. By the way, the summons are going to be done at TwitchCon with my friends. So I hope that you all will look forward to that video. But that's going to be it. Love you guys to death. And as always, we will catch you in that next video. Please take care and be safe.